Hey, I'm Honjo, welcome to my channel. Before we begin, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I've had so many questions recently about my diet, how many calories I eat, etc. So hopefully I can just answer them all here in this video. I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible because there just is so much information and so many more things that I could get really deep into with this topic. I'm sure a lot of people know this information, but there are some people who don't. So I'm also going to briefly explain to you how you can see where you measure up, quite literally size-wise, and I'm going to show you how to work out how many calories your body needs. First things first, we need to work out if we're overweight. I know, it's probably quite obvious, but how do you know if you need to lose some weight? How do you know if you're fat? First of all, we're going to take a look at something called BMI. BMI stands for Body Mass Index and is a measure of body fat. It can overestimate body fat in bodybuilders and underestimate body fat in older people. But generally speaking, for most of us, it's going to give us a very good idea of our body fat. It's very easy to Google and work out your BMI. This chart from the World Health Organization makes it really easy to understand. There are several classifications that you can fit into: underweight, normal weight, a little bit chubby, fat, super fat, or deathly fat, aka morbidly obese, class 3. At 5'2" and 220 pounds, my BMI is 40.2, which makes me on the cusp of morbidly obese. So what does that mean? It means that I am at increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, to name but a few. Simply put, being fat is not healthy. I know, I'm sorry. So what do we need to do now that we've established we're fat? We need to lose weight. And how do we lose weight? We can lose weight by eating less calories. So how do we know how many calories we need? Well, it's actually very, very simple. First of all, we need to know our BMR or our TDEE. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate, which is an estimate of how many calories your body needs to just function. So imagine if you're in a coma, your BMR is the amount of calories it takes to keep you alive, to keep everything functioning, your brain, your heart, your organs, everything. Your TDEE is total daily energy expenditure, and it's slightly different from BMR. It is your BMR and your daily activity put together. And I'll go over your daily activity, what that means in a second. If you head over to Google and type in calorie calculator, you'll get a ton of websites come up. I just used this one, calculator.net, which was at the top of the list. I put my stats into it: age, sex, height, weight, and current activity level. This one has several activity options, so you can just choose the one that best suits you. I've set mine to light exercise, as I only work out 3 times a week. Once you've input all your data, it will take you to the next page with your estimated caloric needs. Obviously, no calculator will be perfect, in the same way that logging your food and calculating how much you eat is open to error too. So always be aware that these are just estimates. If you don't lose weight, or even if you put on weight, you're probably going to need to adjust something. I like this one because it gives different calorie values depending on how much you want to lose. Other TDEE calculators that I've used have made me do all the work. So as you can see, in order to maintain my current weight, I need to eat around 2,250 calories a day. A pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. So if I want to lose 1 pound a week, I need to lower my calories by 3,500 each week, which is a decrease in calories of about 500 per day. The calculator has already done that for me, and it shows me that I need to eat around 1,750 calories per day for an estimated 1 pound weight loss per week. For a 2 pound loss per week, I need a 7,000 calorie deficit per week, which means eating 1,250 calories per day. 2 pounds is the absolute largest amount that is recommended for safe weight loss, and it is never ever recommended to eat less than 1,200 calories. So I'm actually going to go for a daily calorie goal of between 1,500 and 1,750, which should give me around 1 pound to a pound and a half weight loss per week. Okay, so wait, what about eating back my exercise calories? You've probably heard that before. The calculator already took that into account and adjusted for that. So you shouldn't be eating any extra calories when working out. And please don't fall into the trap of overestimating how much you've worked out and eating more calories. You'll find it really hard to lose weight that way. Another thing I've been getting a lot of questions about is my diet, or what diet I follow. The simple answer is none. I refuse to do another diet. I don't want to be forced to only eat certain things and heavily restrict others. I've dieted on and off my whole life. I've lost weight and thought such and such a diet was great until I couldn't do it anymore, and then I just ate what I wanted and put the weight back on again. For me, it's just not possible to restrict myself forever. I know keto is very popular right now, and I've seen lots of people who have had great success from it. And they will say, oh, but you don't have to count calories. Counting calories is a waste of time. It's boring, blah, blah, blah. And I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but the only thing that actually matters for weight loss is KICO or CICO or CISO. Calories in, calories out. The calories you put in your body must be less than the calories you expend. For example, when you're on a keto diet and losing weight, you are still eating at a deficit even if you aren't counting calories. All that good stuff, fatty stuff, that helps you feel satiated for longer. It helps you eat less and therefore less calories. If you overeat your calorie amount, you could eat a ton of bacon, but if you're overeating your calories, you will put on weight. And this isn't me having a go at keto or any other diet for that matter. If it works for you, great, go for it. But it's just not my path. However, I will say that I am trying to keep my carbs low. I don't track macros or anything, I just try not to eat bread, rice, or pasta. Or if I do, it's a very small amount or very infrequently. Low carb is better for keeping blood sugar levels from spiking. When I was pregnant with my second child, I had gestational diabetes and I was put on a diet controlled. I was diet controlled. I kept my digestional diabetes under control through my diet. And I actually lost weight when I was pregnant, funnily enough. So, going low carb is something that I can live with, and I'm not extremely strict with it, to be honest. I eat porridge for breakfast, and again, I'm not dissing anyone's choice of diet. Do what works for you, but it has to be something you can stick at. Right now, I'm just desperate to relearn my eating habits. Aside from binge eating, my biggest problem with food is that I overeat. If food is good, I just want to stuff my face until my stomach says I'm full. So I'm relearning my relationship with food. I'm forcing myself to wait after eating to allow myself to feel full, to drink a cup of tea or a glass of water to fill my stomach. Most slim people are not on diets. They watch what they eat, they don't overeat, they don't binge, they eat in moderation. That is the diet I want to be on, a moderation diet. I'm okay that my path's going to be slow. I know I'm not going to be losing weight super quickly, but at least I won't feel like I've missed out. Okay, and you might say you don't feel like you're missing out, but this is me. This is my experience. for me to be on a diet, I feel like I'm missing out. I don't want to restrict. So that's the diet, moderation diet. So to go again back to my diet and a bit more in depth, I have around 1,700 calories to play with during my day. I use MyFitnessPal to log food and count calories. And you can also use it to track weight. It's a great little app, it's free, and you can also get a little bit more technical with it and count macros, etc. But I'm not that snazzy, and I'm not 100% consistent with logging either, mostly because I tend to eat the same food day in, day out. But for me, an average day starts out with porridge. I have around half a cup of porridge with some milk, maybe some banana or strawberries, chia seeds and flax seeds, and that comes to around 340 calories. Lunch is generally a salad or a soup, and I have in my MyFitnessPal app, I have a default salad that I put in, and that should just cover me really whatever it is that I'm eating, and that comes up to about 500 calories. After lunch, I do tend to hit a kind of slump and I get these cravings. So I have a coffee with creamer, and it probably is about 2 tablespoons of creamer, which is about 70 calories. And that really helps satisfy any afternoon sweet kind of craving that I get. And it does stop me from kind of binging. Before, I would go for the chocolate, I would go for the biscuits, not the American biscuits, but like cookies, I'd go for cookies. But right now, having the coffee, it's sweet and it fills me up, and I do not feel tempted to binge or snack thereafter until dinner. So that leaves me with about 600 to 800 calories for dinner. And for example here, let's say I have chicken curry with a naan bread. Yes, a naan bread. I don't eat bread every day. I'm just trying to give you a realistic and honest look at what I might eat. So don't come at me in the comments criticizing, okay? Anyway, that puts me at 1,617 calories for the day. Woo! Awesome. So as you can see, I am well within my calorie limit. I said my calorie limit was 1,750, or between 1,500, 1,750. So 1,617 is perfect. That also leaves some allowance. Like I said, all of these things are estimates. So you don't actually know exactly the, calorie amount of things. So it just gives you a little bit of leeway. A few other things to bear in mind when you're trying to lose weight. Drink lots of water. Yeah, I'll admit I've been a bit rubbish about this lately, but there are tons of free apps you can use which will help you track and remind you. I try to drink around 96 fluid ounces of water a day. Drinking a lot of water will help flush out the toxin. They aid with weight loss, by making you feel full for longer so you aren't tempted to eat. And it also has a lot of other health benefits such as clear skin. It helps you poo as well because it gets absorbed in the bowel. So you'll get a nice, beautiful stool if you drink some water. That was just a side note. Another thing, a lot of comments that I've gotten have talked about exercising to lose weight. Now, whilst I absolutely do not want to put off anyone from exercising, and I'll tell you why in a sec, but weight loss really is 70% diet. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can't outrun a bad diet. If you are eating too many calories, you will not lose weight. You could eat crap and junk food for a month, but as long as you eat at a deficit, you could lose weight. You'll also feel and probably look like crap, so I don't advise that. But the amount of calories you burn from exercising is so minimal compared to what our body just needs to live. You'd have to do insane amounts of exercise to be able to overeat and still lose weight without watching your diet. And I'm not saying that exercise won't help you to shift the weight, but it's not the biggest component in weight loss, and it certainly won't work if you don't eat properly. The reasons I exercise are because it makes me feel fantastic. Before I started exercising, I felt terrible. My body was aching every morning when I woke up. My legs were always stiff. My ankles were horrible. I had no energy. I felt weak. It was awful. Also, muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. So a muscly body is working to burn off more calories for you. Another thing I find when I exercise, I'm also less tempted to overeat or to eat something sweet because I know I exercised and I don't want to kind of ruin all that hard work. You know, it's like if I exercise for 40 minutes and then I go and eat a cake, it's like, what was the point in exercising? So, you know, that's just another reason. So not only is exercise great for our physical body, but it is also great for our mental health. Lifting weights makes me feel strong, and feeling strong makes me feel sexy and confident. I hope I covered everything, and I will chat to you all very soon. Leave me any comments or questions below if there's anything else that I missed out, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Okay, bye.